In the creative arts, we want to highlight approaches to learning which are the pillars upon which the arts are well known. In the Creative Arts Development Plan for 2015-16, we've identified a number of strategies to develop and implement approaches to learning as part of the school-wide approach. Through lesson observations, we began by identifying core skills in each of the arts subjects by analysing curriculum documentation and teaching and learning practice. These skills were placed into a matrix document. To support the skills identification, a toolkit of strategies is being developed, some of which you'll see in this video.
To begin our creative thinking process, we had to come up with a question. Our question was, how can we best represent our thoughts on peace, politics or protest through musical composition?
We did a lot of brainstorming, so we wrote things down, we experimented with lyrics. Tash and Ginny had their whole own song and I had other stuff, but we tried to come up with like one single idea, so we decided to use these 3 chords for most of our song.
Next we put our ideas together to create a song. Next we had to refine our song. We had to make sure it sounded good and flowed. Unfortunately, our third group member Ginny couldn't be here because she's in Korea golfing. She was also our singer, which means that we now have to sing and play instruments at the same time, which is quite difficult. So after lots of changes and lots of refining, we've managed to come up with a pretty good final product.
We also had to add a bridge because our song, we realized that it didn't really flow from the verse to the chorus. So after adding a bridge, after of course refining and evaluating and seeing where we should add it and stuff like that, then we added a really nice bridge, so now our song's pretty good.
When we started working on ATLs, the focus from my Year 12 film class was going to be on social and communication skills that were to be developed in preparation for their group films. It soon became apparent that in addition to these skills, students were also employing critical and creative thinking in developing solutions to the problems they were facing.
Well, we actually had to change a lot of our shots because it didn't work how we wanted to. When it came to lighting and the weather, especially the weather, we were doing a few shots and it just started completely raining, and then we had to change a little bit of our story to make it actually make sense, because otherwise it just started raining out of nowhere in the middle of our movie.
In terms of ATL development, it seems that by the time that students enter the upper school, they have developed these skills associated with social communication and group work, and the film curriculum offers them both the opportunity and the freedom to develop these skills and explore their creativity.
Now, is there much narration, dialogue I should say?
There will be. Throughout the entire opening scene, there's going to be a narrator.
You need to pause longer and then go back and then pause and then salation. Count 1, 2, 3.
Cut!
Our Year 8 students have been focusing on the ATL of research in the creation of their abstract painting inspired by the world from above. This has included collecting and analysing imagery from a variety of primary and secondary sources and making connections to their own ideas. They've excelled at finding and interpreting inspiration from the world from above, and have also been using the ATL skills of critical and creative thinking to respond to the artwork of a range of different artists.
In the art project that we're doing the world from above, and we got asked to get photos from Google Images from what the world looks like when you're looking from above. But instead of getting photos from Google Images, I took the research a bit further and I got my drone and I got some photos on my own by getting the drone to a really, really high level, and then I got some cool footage from up there.
drama, we use a lot of collaborative skills as it is mostly group work. I find it rewarding when I help others to succeed by giving them feedback. Today, we have used something called Outside Eye, where we take a step back from what our group is doing, we watch and suggest ways for them to improve. I suggested to my team that they exaggerate their facial expressions while going on a hike. For instance, they yawn, or roll their eyes, or wipe their forehead. This showed that they were tired.
In this activity, we have all been given roles to help everyone contribute ideas and work collaboratively. I was given the role of putting canon into our work. My teammates had other things to focus on, such as adding levels or formations. This means that we get a range of ideas from everyone.
Through teacher reflection and lesson observation, we are beginning to identify skills and strategies that are transferable between arts subjects. Our aim next year is to make the links of learning approaches between the arts and other subjects stronger through the use of language used by our students, supported by a toolkit of strategies. We believe everyone is creative in some way, and skills to think and act creatively can be taught. No matter what stage of musical development or skill level a student presents, they can all work through a process of creative thinking that encourages them to expand and contract their ideas, to see problems as questions, to brainstorm but not immediately judge an idea, and focus on yes rather than no. Creative thinking relies on the development and expansion of ideas. There is no such thing as mistakes. Saying no or identifying a mistake closes down conversation and negates the creative thinking process of trial and improvement.